Hi folks, Festus here again. Another update on my Planet Junior wheel hoe. I made some more progress on it. If you remember before, the body of it was totally rusted over. Did a number of hours in the electrolysis tank and came out really nice and shiny. Now also I got one of the sweeps done. Now this was the first sweep I did, and see, nice and shiny there. All the rust is gone. This is an untouched sweep now that still has the original rust on it. It hasn't gotten the soak tank yet, but just to show you the difference between the two. Now the thing is, they don't come out this shiny. They actually have like a black film on them, and I hit it with a wire wheel and clean it up. If you can remember how bad the body of it was, and look how nice and shiny it is, and you get a good look at the Planet Junior in the USA engraving that they put on it. Yeah, it came out really well. I was very happy. Interesting, the bolts here were pretty badly rusted on. I thought I'd had to use the torch to take them off, but you know, I soaked it in the tank and put a wrench to it, and they came right off. I was amazed. These are the bolts that are for the adjusters for the wheel height, and then there's a rivet here that keeps it all together. But yeah, I was very impressed with how well it came out. Again, you've seen the wheel there, and that's all ready for getting ready to paint. The wood handles here, I'm pretty sure they're white oak. This is this was the outside, which had all the exposure, but this was the inside, and I cleaned it up a little bit, and got a strong feeling it was probably white oak. I mean, it was good, strong wood that they used at the time. Again, these are the nuts and bolts that they would use to hold them on. Interesting, it's like a carriage with a square head on the inside, and I get a kick out of everything back then was all square bolts. I have to look up what year when they started using the hex bolts. So just a little bit of a view of that. I did some research on Planet Junior. It was originally from a man, his name was S.L. Allen, and he came up with a lot of patents. He was from Philadelphia, which is, for a while, that was my old hometown, but now I'm up here in Connecticut. And so yeah, and he would sell these to all the backyard gardeners, and you know, had quite a business going. You know, with the advent of gas mowers and gas tractors, it kind of fell out of favor, but that's what they would use. The name Planet Junior comes from he originally came up with it was like a cedar that looked like a barrel and had a big wheel on the outside of it, and he was an amateur astronomer, and he thought it looked like Saturn, hence the name Planet. He called it the Planet Cedar, and then he made a smaller version of it, and he called it the Planet Junior Cedar, and then I guess the Planet Junior name just kind of stuck, and that's where it all came from. Now I'll bring you over and I'll show you how I do the electrolysis to give you an idea of that. And I'm going to head over there. And you probably remember these guys here. They're sitting there, you know, taking up more room in my basement. But this is the electrolysis tank I use. It's just a 55-gallon bucket of. So you have to use a plastic bucket because you know you're working with electricity. I just run it off a regular 10-amp battery charger. In the water you put this powder in called washing soda. Now it's not baking soda, it's actually baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. This is sodium carbonate, and you can get it at the supermarket. It's called washing soda. I put about a half a bucket in, and you know, you need an anode and a cathode. The anode is your sacrificial steel. Now I have it's part of a frame of a riding mower, and that is sacrificed. Now in here I have these are the dust caps for the wheel, and getting soaked up. The white foam you see in there is actually hydrogen bubbles. It'll just bubble away, and it's not really a problem. There's no toxicity to this at all. I mean, basically you have rust and a form of soap in here, and so you would hook your negative, your cathode, to the part that you want to clean, and just let it soak for several hours, and it does a great job removing the rust. You don't have to worry about using a die grinder that's going to eat away at the metal and everything, and and actually it's totally safe. I mean, you put your hand in here, you can feel it, but the most you ever get is a couple of amps going through there, and it doesn't even go through it. This was the original sacrificial one I used to use. It's an old lawnmower blade, and actually you can see how eaten away it is, and it ends up in the bottom of the tank. I learned an interesting thing by doing it this way, is that the more steel you have for the on the positive, the anode, or I always say pan for anode, that's how you remember it, the better amperage you'll get. And as you can see now, I had ground off all the paint with this, and you get these white crystals. Sometimes they look green, that are residual. You have to clean them off. This is kind of a self-limiting thing. Once you get enough buildup on the anode, it pretty much stops working, so you have to clean it off and reset it. But you just let the thing sit all day, and does a great job. Cleans rust off in ways that I've never thought I could do. So well, that's it for now, and we'll keep you updated on the progress of the Planet Junior wheel hoe. Festus out.